These wretched babies don't come until they are ready. This new power, which has proved itself to be such a terrifying weapon of destruction, is harnessed for the first time for the common good of our community. To the suggestion that Great Britain might someday want a republic will go quietly. I hope people will think very carefully about the future. Think what we would have missed if we had never used a mobile phone or surfed the net, or, to be honest, listened to other people talking about surfing the net. Before each of numerous portrait sittings, now then, with teeth or without. For me, heaven is likely to be a bit of a come down. On the 1982 intruder into her bedroom, I realized immediately that it wasn't a servant, because they don't slam doors. Football's a difficult business, and aren't they prima donnas? But it's a wonderful game. To a woman whose cell phone rang during a formal meeting, you'd better answer that. It could be someone important. What were once only hopes for the future have now come to pass. I believe that there is a great fear in our generation of being labeled as priggish. It has perhaps always been the case that the waging of peace is the hardest form of leadership of all. I should like to be a horse. True patriotism doesn't exclude an understanding of the patriotism of others. They are not royal. They just happen to have me as their aunt. It's all to do with the training. You can do a lot if you're properly trained. Cowards falter, but danger is often overcome by those who nobly dare. Work is the rent you pay for the room you occupy on earth. It has turned out to be an annus horribilis. It has been women who have breathed gentleness and care into the hard progress of humankind. Family does not necessarily mean blood relatives, but often a description of a community, organization, or nation. Good memories are our second chance at happiness. Let us not take ourselves too seriously. None of us has a monopoly on wisdom. No one who knew Diana will ever forget her. Millions of others who never met her, but felt they knew her, will remember her. Like all best families, we have our share of eccentricities, of impetuous and wayward youngsters, and of family disagreements. It is easy enough to define what the Commonwealth is not. Indeed, this is quite a popular pastime. The British Constitution has always been puzzling, and always will be. I myself prefer my New Zealand eggs for breakfast. The upward course of a nation's history is due in the long run to the soundness of heart of its average men and women. Like all the best families, we have our share of eccentricities, of impetuous and wayward youngsters, and of family disagreements. My husband has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years, and I owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim. To what greater inspiration and counsel can we turn than to the imperishable truth to be found in this treasure house, the Bible? I have to be seen to be believed. These wretched babies don't come until they are ready. At its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions. It is a noble profession. The lessons from the peace process are clear. Whatever life throws at us, our individual responses will be all the stronger for working together and sharing the load. For many, Christmas is also a time for coming together. But for others, service will come first. It's all to do with the training. You can do a lot if you're properly trained. The world is not the most pleasant place. Eventually, your parents leave you, and nobody is going to go out of their way to protect you unconditionally. You need to learn to stand up for yourself and what you believe, and sometimes, pardon my language, kick some ass. There are long periods when life seems a small, dull round, a petty business with no point, and then suddenly we are caught up in some great event which gives us a glimpse of the solid and durable foundations of our existence. I know of no single formula for success. But over the years I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm and their inspiration to work together. I don't like to badmouth people. But I'm the head of a monarchy that began in the 9th century, and I'm apparently more modern than Chris Christie. Look, I know he has to appeal to the crazy right-wingers in his party, but the fact is, he's not as forward-thinking as an 87-year-old lady who wears a crown on her head. It's pathetic. For Christians, as for all people of faith, reflection, meditation and prayer help us to renew ourselves in God's love, as we strive daily to become better people. The Christmas message shows us that this love is for everyone. There is no one beyond its reach.